Welcome to Moon Harbor Heroes. Today's issue is Faces, issue 39, an evening of light, hammer, conversation. On the cover, Lighthammer and Ryder stand heroically center page. Behind them, a topiary in the shape of Lighthammer is striking a mocking pose as Inky points at it, giggling. We turn the page and our story begins. Our first panel of this issue opens up in Lighthammer's apartment. It's a few hours later. The police have picked up Remix and brought him to the jail. I know most of his equipment was broken, but what happened to his equipment? Did you all take that before the police got there? Or did that go with them?
I thought the idea was that we were taking the equipment and trying to repair it ourselves.
Yeah, the hard keyboards, the real keyboards, were either broken or we took. I think we broke one of them and took the other one. And the hard light holograms weren't working because those keyboards were broken.
Right. Okay, cool. Where is everyone in Lighthammer's apartment at this point?
I think I'm pacing just back and forth in the main living room underneath the Michelangelo-style creation of man with Lighthammer and Lighthammer.
I hate that so much. Thank you for bringing it up again.
Of course, you're welcome.
Inky, where are you?
I think I'm behind Lighthammer, and I made it so one of the flowers that Lighthammer has, makes faces behind his back, mimics him, something like that.
Fantastic. If I'm remembering right that there's a Lighthammer topiary in here somewhere, or am I just making that up?
Nope, there is, yeah.
How big is this apartment?
It's huge.
Then it's definitely the topiary that makes Lighthammer faces.
Like when Lighthammer's back's turned, the topiary is mimicking him.
Yeah, Lighthammer's like, God, I can't believe it. And the topiary is like,
It's like the watermelon Stevens. Oh, Ryder, where are you?
Ryder is probably sitting at the table, and he's actually on the phone. And you would see the panels it open with him saying, "Yes, get Takashi on the phone. Get our men on the phone. We have an important thing to do." And then it would go to the next panel and be like, "Yes, Uncle, I know, but we have something important right now. We can handle that later. All right, I'll see you soon." And then he closes the phone.
And I'm going to give you all a moment if you want anything here before I interrupt.
I just keep pulling at my phone and looking at my texts and looking at my tweets. And I'm like, okay, she can literally teleport. Where the hell is she?
And I think we're focusing in on that tweet from last issue. And it has a single like from the AV Club, but no response.
I keep pacing back and forth. And I think there's a couple close calls where I turn quicker than anyone was expecting. And I almost catch the topiary, but then I don't. Though I do think it's moved positions. And I think a more focused Lighthammer would have noticed that the position has slightly changed, but I do not currently notice.
It's not always going back to its upright position. Sometimes it just freezes, red light, green light.
Exactly. Just like that.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Oh, that's so good.
I think Ryder would walk over to Inky and Light and look at the topiary that's not supposed to be like that. It doesn't say anything, but just has this confused look on his face, staring at the topiary.
And I think we get with that panel, we get the onomatopoeia of the fridge slamming shut and bottles clinking from the kitchen.
I roll my eyes and walk towards the kitchen.
And our next panel shows Allie standing in front of the fridge, a gratuitously large sandwich hanging out of her mouth. And she's wearing a t-shirt, neon purple t-shirt with pink lettering that says, "So you want me to save your friend?" What's up?
Okay, Asimov is in another dimension, and you're the only person I know who can teleport, so go get him.
Wait, is that the... And she takes the sandwich out of her hand. Is that the short one? And she looks over at Nikki, or the older short, the old short one. This one's shorter.
Yes, it's the older short one. Yes, you were right.
All right, so what dimension?
The one Remix is from.
Oh, I haven't read that far yet. Okay. When did this happen?
A couple hours ago. We've got one of Remix's keyboards. Ryder, can you grab that?
Ryder's got it in his hand. Walks over.
And I think she pulls out a cylindered up bundle of comic books and kind of turns to the side to kind of shield them from you all and starts flipping through them. Goes, a couple hours ago. Wait, did you do anything cool or exciting since then?
No, I tweeted at you and you took an hour and 38 minutes to get here.
Well, yeah, that was between issues. So there must have been a break there. And Okay, cool. So that would have happened last issue. So, oh, okay. If I know the writers, there's probably going to be like an issue, maybe two. I'll just jump forward a couple. It'll be fine.
I blink like 6 times.
Ryder visibly furrows his brow like, wait, what?
Oh, sorry. Allie, Ryder, Typhon. Ryder, Typhon, this is Allie.
She holds out her hand for a handshake and goes, "Big fan. Love your sword. It's great at slaying."
Yeah, it is. Nice to meet you. Allie? With a question mark at the end of that.
And she just smiles and shakes your hand. And then turns to look at Inky and goes, "So, new team member? I'm sorry, I haven't been keeping up."
You smell weird.
Yeah, I was jumping through hell recently. Not a team I want to join.
Do you like topiaries?
She turns and sees like the Lighthammer topiary and just gets the biggest grin. Goes, "Oh, I'm gonna have to remember this panel."
I turn to Lighthammer and go, I like her.
Yeah, same. I'll like her more when she goes and saves our friend.
Okay. So, well, like, need some privacy. Can I use your restroom?
Yeah, it's down the hall on the right.
Don't go down the second door.
And I think as she's walking down the hall, she like waves her hand dismissively behind her, and we see her like flipping through some comics, and then stopping on one that has like a very cyberpunky cover. She goes through the door she was explicitly told not to, and as soon as the door slams shut behind her, like we see the panel of the comic book laying on. Wait, what room is that?
I don't know, Ryder, what room was she explicitly not supposed to go into?
That was your equipment room.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, it's my equipment room.
And we get like a panel of that comic laying open to like the first page, and just like the pages fluttering, and then her hand reaches up out of the panel and pulls the comic book into itself. And we're gonna cut back out to the group of you all.
Ryder just blinks several times, like, what did I just see?
Oh no, she was through the door, so we wouldn't have seen that.
Oh, okay. Did she just walk into? Is your equipment gonna be okay?
Yeah, she probably like teleported. She does that sometimes. It's fine.
Like the blue guy?
I don't know who you're talking about. Blue guy?
Sorry. Yeah, samurai guy. Okay, anyways. So she's going to go get Brian by herself?
Yeah. Some people like to do that, don't they? And I'm gonna walk out to the balcony, where I also have my giant pool, because I am who I am.
Is that a provoke?
It sounded like one to me.
It feels like you're provoking Ryder to follow you out and talk to you. Am I right on that intention?
That was not the intention, but I will happily roll a provoke.
I feel like that might have been Lighthammer's intention, even if he wasn't admitting it.
That's a full hit.
All right. So on a 10, it's the carrot and the stick.
I'm gonna take the carrot. Ryder is gonna follow Lighthammer out to the balcony.
I think when a writer leaves the room, Enki turns to the topiary and says, Why is this apartment so big? I feel like you could fit a whale in here. Oh, and by the way, your name is Blight Scammer.
And I think we see the topiary just like open and close its mouth a couple times. And it just speaks in a font that is just like wingdings, but all nature.
I hate it.
And I think we're going to cut out to the balcony. Lighthammer, what dramatic pose are you in?
I actually am standing by the side of the pool trying to take my boots off. I'm back in full costume. I've got my like full metal suit on, and I'm trying to just put my feet in the water, but I can't take my boots off because they're like a little too tight right now. You just see me awkwardly trying to kick my boots off. Stupid shoes and a stupid protective armor, just stupid boyfriend, just fucking everyone hate everything. I just want to, Christ in heaven, I just hate this so much. And there's a lot more of those little panels across the board.
Light, can we talk? I think Ryder will walk up behind Lighthammer at this point.
I get one of the boots off and push it into your chest.
Okay, I deserve that. Can we talk?
I rotate towards you and put my foot out, and I'm like, I can't get the other boot off. Can you please help me?
Yeah. He reaches down and touches it and then literally phases it off your foot.
And I'm gonna put my feet in the water.
I think Ryder's going to slip off his shoes, pull his pants leg up, and sit down beside you. So, about that, back at the hospital. I didn't mean it to come out that way.
Yep. I bet.
Listen, Leo, two things. Leo has found the Dark Rider, and apparently there are more like me who can use the power. He's wanting me to join him to train them.
Did you tell him you already have a team?
I did. He's still my uncle, and I'm still a rider.
Yeah, and I'm still your boyfriend, and I'm still your teammate.
You're not wrong. And I think at that, Ryder's going to splash some water around. You did real good back there with the bombs and remix. That was absolutely brilliant what you did through the hospital speakers. Not sure the technology actually works that way, but you made it work.
I kind of shrug and I'm like, sound powers, who knows how that technology really works, but whatever.
And I think we get like this panel of the two of you. You're sitting side by side, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sitting like side by side, and behind you we see the like glass panes. Inky, what are you doing in the inside there?
So you see Enki playing chess with the topiary, and the topiary has like the shape of Rodin's Tinker.
Fantastic. I'm going to cut back into your all's conversation.
Splash, splash, splash.
It was really shitty of you to, make me a part of this team if you're only gonna dip. It sucks. I'm not a team player. I don't do the team thing. I am a one-man show. I am a solo act. I don't need this stupid caring about people bullshit.
Light, you're a great leader. I mean, those kids look up to you. Like, I think Inky wants to beat Brian, even though he may not agree with the color choices. I think he does too. I've been doing this a while. Everyone else is gone.
So I think a lot of things just happened there. Let's step through them. I think we're going to start with Lighthammer confessing a vulnerability or weakness.
I don't think this one applies. I just reading it over. When you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, ask them if they will tell anyone the truth about you. I don't think that applies anymore. I think I've kind of officially segued out of vulnerability or weakness from the star.
I'd agree on that.
Okay. So then let's start with the comfort or support from Ryder.
Okay. I can do the roll. I can remember where my things are at. Oh, that's a terrible roll. Hey, that was awful.
Oof. That's a 5. Okay. So I think in the background of that panel of Ryder talking, along the edge of the building, but not in view of the window, we start seeing these like long tendril-like scrolls just covered in all kinds of runes that almost seem to be shifting each panel. You all don't notice this happening yet, but we're seeing it in the background. And I'm not sure, but it kind of also sounded like Ryder confessed to vulnerability or weakness with the like, everything's changing, everyone's gone.
Sure, yeah. Where is even that one?
Should we first page?
Same place as Triumphant Celebration, if you know where that is.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it. Tell them a secret about your legacy.
I mean, you retroactively did that a minute ago with the like, there are others like me.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I did.
Cool.
Can you read that whole move for me so I can do what the trigger is?
Yeah, when you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, tell them a secret about your legacy, including your own true feelings about it, to clear a condition and give them influence over
Was that clear condition or give them influence over you?
you.
And cool, I'll take it.
I think we are still missing part of that. I don't think we've gotten Ryder's true feelings about this. The new, like...
The new writers, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the new possible writers, I guess.
Cool. I can make that happen in character and
Cool.
get away for that to happen. I look over at you and I'm like, yeah, everyone is leaving, but you're still here and I'm still here. And there are these new writers and, you don't have to be the person to go train them, right? You're still a kid yourself. God, you're not even 18 yet. What are you thinking about them?
Outside of Leo, who can't really use the power anymore, I'm the only one with experience with it. When Leo trained me, he was still able to use the power. That falls on me now. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. What if Dark Rider gets to them first? Then we have an army of Dark Riders on the field in the city. If one Dark Rider can cause the hell he caused, hell, I don't know what we would do. I don't know how I could protect you guys. You guys are dealing with Remix right now. We're dealing with Remix right now. I don't know what I would do I don't know what we could do. An army of riders came down on top of us at the same time. One is enough, right?
I get that. I think I'm going to reach down and like take your hand. And I open my mouth a couple times to say things and then I close it. And then finally, I'm like, you don't need to protect us. We're fine. Brian's got snake powers now, and I can look after Enki. You have to do what you have to do.
But we got to get Brian back first. That's our core goal, right? Above all else. And I think Ryder's going to stand up and kind of shake his feet off, dry himself off a little bit, roll his pants back down, and then turn to look up towards where he would think Inky is.
I think we get the same pullback shot. Inky, what do we see through the window?
So I think what Ryder sees is, so Enki doesn't notice that he's looking, and the topiary has the shape of the team, and them all standing there heroically.
I love that. I think Ryder also sees these like long coils of scrolls just stretched along, and one lurches out and wraps around your chest and lifts you into the air.
As that happens, we get the small speech bubble from me that says, okay, I guess we're not going to have the what's our relationship going to be conversation. Let's fight another fucking villain. And then I'm going to stand up and like start running inside barefoot to go grab the hammer because I didn't bring it with me.
As Ryder's like being lifted into the air by this thing, I think we get you running inside, and we see a figure like lower themselves with these scrolls onto the balcony. They're very tall and have like very, very angular features and like a bright blue skin. And they have just purple runes and letters that are constantly shifting around their skin. And held in their hand, they have this long staff that is made of a tightly wound scroll, the end of which is like going off panel and connecting to all these scrolls that are like stretched around the area. And there's an editor note that says Namshub, they, them, member of the Cabal of the Unquestioned.
I am pulling on one boot as I run, and the other boot, when it phased, went back to the hammer. And I'm like, stupid boots, I need to get a new size up. And I like grab the hammer with one shoe on and spin. And I'm going to fight with one shoe on because that's where we are tonight.
Okay.
Are you telling Enki anything? Because I'm still clueless.
I think you see Lighthammer run in a hurry.
So I think, first of all, as Lighthammer runs in, the topiary has turned into a dragon in the shape that Carl had when he fought here. And Enki sees Lighthammer run in, and I think is Ryder out on the balcony? I think I run out to Ryder.
Yeah, Ryder's out on the balcony being like held in the air by a piece of this scroll. And as you're running out, you don't recognize this person, but you do feel like the energy in you kind of recoil away from them. They feel distinctly like wrong to you, specifically Inky.
I think I'm apprehensive, and I'm gonna wait for Light to join me.
I'm right on your heels, and I say, Enki, duck. And then I'm going to swing the hammer like horizontally and basically try to like, with the sound wave, hit the staff out of this person's hand.
As you yell, Enki, duck, the topiary behind you is definitely a duck.
Fantastic. Before you roll this swing, I want us to go ahead and enter battle against a dangerous foe, so we can have it all on board before we roll. So, who is the leader?
I am.
Lighthammer is. Unquestionably.
Lighthammer, do you have influence over every teammate?
I do, as of about 3 minutes ago, but I got influence over Ryder.
Nice. Lighthammer, what is your purpose in the fight?
Protect Ryder.
Ryder?
Not dying.
Good purpose. Inky?
I'm also protecting Ryder, yeah.
Okay.
Is not dying counting as protecting me?
Yeah. Does any team member mistrust the leader or the team?
Who?
Nope, we're good.
And are you ill-prepared or off-balance?
I'm in the air.
Lighthammer has one shoe on.
Yeah, I think we're off balance.
Okay, but that still brings us to 5 team total.
Does it? I got 4. I got 4 in my calculations. But okay, we'll do 5.
We already had 2 from Ryder responding to your provoke.
You're right. I forgot about that.
All right, and go ahead and roll to directly engage.
Damn.
That is a 12, listeners of the podcast.
All right. On a 10 plus, pick 2.
I'm going to take something from them, which I think probably should have been Ryder, but I'm trying to knock the staff out of their hand. So that's what I'm going to take from them. And then
Okay.
I want to resist or avoid their blows.
Cool.
I think specifically the way I'm resisting and avoiding their blows is I want to try to block blows for both myself and Ryder.
So we see the sound wave blast out, hit them. The staff goes flying out of their hand. We see it skittering across the balcony. Is that what this is called?
Yeah, it's a balcony, it's a landing, it's a pool deck, it's a lot of things.
Deck. I'm gonna go with deck. Okay. We see the staff like skittering across the deck, and they look back at the staff as it goes flying. And I think Ryder hits the ground. It hits the ground hard. No mechanical thing here. It just like knocks the wind out of you for a moment.
Oof.
And
There's your
then
oof sound effect.
and then they like hold their hand out back like behind them towards the staff, and we see the like scrolls start like pushing under their own movement, pushing the staff back into their hand. We also see the scrolls like that are further out start biting into the building and start like digging in and producing cracks throughout the deck.
Okay. I don't know who or what that is, but can we burn it?
And I think while Ryder's saying that, we get like the first part of that in one speech bubble and then a connected speech bubble for the second half of that. And the scroll like passes up through the speech bubble. And when it passes back down, it's in just these alien glyphs and no one can understand the second half of Ryder's sentence. And Namshub looks at all of you, goes, "No one speak except him." And they point at Inky. "Submit, and I will leave your friends."
I think at this point, Ryder's going to stand up really quickly and try to henshin, but because he can't say the line, he can't say henshin. It comes out as gibberish. The transformation does nothing.
Oof.
I instinctively step in front of Enki and put my hand out. I don't say anything, but my hand is out, stretched.
Inky, what do you do?
I think I stare at the scroll monster and go, "You're not natural."
They smile and say, "Of course I'm not." And at that, the staff lands in their hands and all of the scrolls go rigid. And I think just the entire chunk of deck the two of you are standing on breaks away. So Lighthammer and Inky, you are now falling.
I think I'm going to try sprouting a bunch of vines and catching us.
I think give me a defend. A defend or an unleash. I'm good with either.
I mean, I never do defend. I'm going to do defend. So that's a 5.
I'll spin a team if Ryder does.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do something.
I'm just gonna reach the hammer up as I'm falling and like grab onto Enki with one hand and reach the hammer up towards Ryder with the other.
Ryder's going to grab the hammer.
Yeah, how about like the vines fly out, latch in, and like pull taut and catch the two of you, but then we quickly start seeing them break. Does that work?
Yeah, sure.
I tossed that a thumbs up, realizing I'm not on camera.
Okay, on a 7 to 9, it costs you. Expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation. And then you get to pick one from the other list. The add a team to the pool, take influence over someone you protect, or clear a condition.
I can clear a condition, you say?
Yeah. Yeah, you can either add a team to the pool, take influence over Lighthammer, or clear a condition.
I'm going to clear angry.
Okay. And do you want to expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation?
I'll expose myself to danger.
Okay, cool. So I think we get the panel of like Ryder grabbing the hammer and pulling the two of you up. And at this point, Ryder, your speech becomes unjumbled. You're able to speak again. And I think we get the panel of like the three of you on the edge, and then Inky facing the fall, and the two of you facing like out towards the rest of the deck. And then Inky gets snatched up by one of these scrolls and just slammed into the ground. Inky, go ahead and roll to take a powerful blow.
Can I defend?
I think you can. I would prefer if you're not, so then we can
Yep.
an infinite
Yep.
defense cycle.
Nope, you're good.
So that's a 5. Good thing I cleared the condition.
That's very good.
That's good. So on a miss, you stand strong, mark potential as normal, and say how you weathered the blow.
So I think as the scrolls try to grab me and make contact with Enki, we see Enki's eyes turn white, and we see these particles of energy going from the scroll to Enki, which is one of his superpowers, is to sap the life force of something.
Oof, I like that a lot. Yeah, and I think we get this panel where Namshub just looks horrified, and they fade to this like very pale blue before they just like throw you back into your group with the scrolls, and like they recoil back.
I think as Inky is being thrown, now that my speech bubbles aren't garblegook, Ryder quickly grabs his buckler and says, Henshin, and then transforms and catches Inky.
I like that. And I think we see them like with kind of a panicked face that they quickly pull like under composure, and their scrolls start like very quickly receding in towards them. And you hear them just say, "Oh, the gate's not ready yet. I'll be back." And they turn and start to just run towards the end of the deck.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Ryder super speeds between them and the end of the deck.
Can you tackle them into the pool?
Yeah, I could do that.
I feel
I
like,
like that
ancient
better.
scrolls plus water is a bad combination.
Yeah. Ryder's going to speed tackle.
Give me a directly engage.
I think as it's happening, I yell Ryder the pool. That way that happened on the page. There was a reason for that.
Yeah.
What a son
I'm
of a-
gonna spend a team to help that. Enki, you want to spend a team to help that?
I will definitely spend a team to help that, and I already know how.
I'm gonna take the hammer and just send a blast of sound energy across the ground so it hits them in the back of the legs. So when Ryder tackles them, they don't have any footing to like hold themselves up. So they just get like fully knocked over towards the water.
Okay. So that brings it up to a 6.
And then just before the sound waves hit, we see one of the mines tripping the monster. So it starts to trip, and then it's being grabbed by the sound waves, and then the tackle comes.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And so that brings it up to a 7. So on a 7 to 9, pick one.
All right. Without knowing what I'm taking from them, I want to take something from them. No, you know what? I'll create an opportunity for my allies. I'll
You could take
whatever
their
I want.
escape from them.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing. Taking their escape from
Okay.
This is the issue where we waterboard a villain.
That's exactly what's happening.
We get that. We get Namshub being tripped 1,000 ways and then tackled into the pool by a super speedster. And I think we get this overhead shot of Ryder Typhon and Namshub struggling in the middle of this. And just like the entirety of the rest of the pool, just this tangled web of like almost spaghetti looking scrolls. And we see them start to dig into the sides of the pool and start to crack the entirety of the pool. This whole deck is going to be going down soon. And Ryder, you are very tightly wrapped in with them. Inky, what are you doing?
I want to try and turn the entire deck into like a lush forest, like roots growing everywhere, digging into the building and trying to hold up the whole thing.
Ooh, I like that. Give me an unleash.
I need this to be a full hit because unstable or temporary feels like a really bad option right now.
Please do. Please roll good.
I don't have a really good unleash, so an 8.
That's an 8. So on a 7 to 9, you want to take a condition, or is it unstable or temporary?
I'll take afraid, I guess.
All right. So I think we get these panels of these roots growing through as these scrolls are reaching out and pushing and cracking it. And we see the like whole chunk of the deck the pool's on kind of separate and shift down a good like 6 inches before the roots just catch it and hold it in place. I think we get like this nice panel of the side of the building with like about half of the water of the pool just sloshing down into the streets as it all tips at an angle. Inky, I will say that like this is going to take a good bit of your concentration. That feel fair to you?
That feels very fair.
Okay, because I think most of these roots are coming from the topiary. Lighthammer, what are you doing?
I'm just going to look at Enki and be like, stay. And then I'm going to run over. And I think with the one booted foot, I'm just going to aim a kick towards Namshub's like face. I'm trying to get them to release Ryder.
Yeah, give me a... Okay, so you could easily kick Namshub in the face and push both them and Ryder over the edge. If you give me a directly engage and that succeeds, you can push Namshub over the edge and take Ryder from them.
Oh, I thought they were still in the pool. I didn't think they had like fallen over. I thought they were still like...
They are, but the whole thing's like tilted at an angle.
Then I don't want to do that. I don't want to lose Namshub. I'm going to reach down and use the hammer essentially like a shepherd's crook and try to like catch it underneath Namshub and pull them and Ryder back up towards the apartment.
Cool. As you do, like these scrolls start wrapping around the hammer, so you can easily do that. But if you allow this to happen, it's going to be hard to dislodge your hammer once you get them back up. It's up to you.
That's fine.
Okay. And I think we've got like the whole mass there. The hammer like starts being pulled as soon as Namshub has footing. They're trying to yank it out of your hand. Ryder, you're still being held tight, but now that the attention is like split, it's not a full focus. What are you doing?
Am I dry or am I still in the water?
You've been pulled out of the pool. I wouldn't say you're dry, but you're not in water.
And the scrolls are still attached to the bad guy.
Yes. And also like fairly tightly wound around you.
Mm.
And around the hammer,
Mm.
which I am holding on to as I try to rescue you.
Mm. Actually, I want to use the mythic might to attempt to break out of the, like, just shatter the scrolls.
Cool. Give me an unleash.
All right, I'll do that.
I think we get like panels you just like full on hawking out of these things. We're trying to.
Yeah, sure. That's exactly what. Oh my. Okay, yeah. No, he definitely gives it a good old college try. Ooh, I get a better idea for how that work goes down.
Oh?
Yeah, I think he attempts to like break out and then demorphs.
Oof. Oof, that's brutal. Okay. Yeah. I think we get like the panel of you just like struggling against it. And we see like tear starting in the scroll and then just you demorph. And I think we get a panel of like Lighthammer seeing this and the shock on at least Ryder's face. And then we see like a tip of the scroll holding the morphine coin.
This is bad. Help.
Namshub looks directly at Lighthammer and says, I'm going to leave. You're going to let me, or I drop him.
Give us the coin, or I make it very, very difficult for you to get out of here.
You'll have it back the moment I'm gone. And I'm just going to tell you as a DM, they are being honest. And I think with this, just to emphasize it, like Ryder, tightly bound, starts being lifted up and held out over the, like, just over the edge.
I think Ryder would be like, Light, take him out. I will survive this.
I look at Ryder and I'm like, a good leader knows when he's beat. Okay, give Ryder Typhon back and you can go.
And we start getting panels of Namshub, like, being pushed backwards off and slowly descending while holding Ryder, like, up and over. Inky, are you doing anything to stop this? I just want to give you an opportunity if you wanted to.
I kind of want to do something big, but I don't know if now is the moment.
Okay.
Moment of truth. Moment of truth.
Moment of truth.
Before my first level up, sure.
Anki's like, I'm gonna drop this goddamn balcony.
Phenomenal.
Imagine.
I think the last panel of that we get is Namshub completely out of sight and just a bit of the scroll sticking up holding Ryder. Ryder's just dropped onto the deck and then the coin falls just onto the deck as well. And I think there's a precarious moment where it like rolls towards the edge. Who grabs it?
I think Ryder immediately reaches out to try to grab the coin, but I'm not sure with it rolling away. I'm not sure if he's close enough.
I kind of think Ryder grabs for it and then starts to like slip as if he's gonna fall off the roof. And I again use the hammer like it's a spoon essentially and catch Ryder like by the shoulder before he falls.
Oh, can I suggest the coin rolls off the edge and Inky catches it with a vine?
That'd be cool as hell.
Yeah, but that doesn't work with what I want to do next, even though it's a cool idea.
Okay, I mean, we could not do that.
I think Lighthammer does catch the coin, and then there's like a panel from below where you see Lighthammer catching the coin and like Ryder right behind him also trying to catch the coin. And they grab it, and then in the background you can see like all of these vines and stuff, and they're all connected to Enki, and he has a crown of thorns, and he's struggling really hard to hold on to this like whatever 10-ton deck that he's holding up.
Oof. What do y'all do?
I think I'm holding Ryder and the like with the hammer and holding the coin. I think I catch the coin in my toes because the one foot doesn't have a boot on it.
That's so perfect.
I love it. I love it.
Wow, I did not think that was going to have plot relevance whatsoever. You can tell this isn't a Life Yield comic because feet can be drawn.
Hey!
Oh no!
And then with my other hand, because the one hand is just holding the hammer, with the other hand I like reach into my pocket and pull out a cell phone and I dial Mike Donnelly and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna need some assistance at my apartment. like a crane and probably a demolition crew. And yeah, I sent a picture of the situation.
What the hell did you do now, kid? Do you have a move for that? If not, it's something just happened. I just wasn't sure if you were triggering a move.
I do not have a move for that.
I think with your your money and his connections, it's something we can hand wave. If it's not something you all are interested in getting the specifics of how we fix that deck.
I don't really want the deck to be fixed. I think it'd be really interesting if we just see like broken off deck for the rest of at least a while for Lighthammer's issues. But I do think I want someone like to be there to make sure it doesn't fall and kill someone.
I think at this point, Enki sees Lighthammer on the phone and yells to Lighthammer and Ryder, "Guys, can we hurry it up?" And like he's straining really hard not to let go.
Do we want to cut to the next scene there? Sorry, I was unclear. Are you interested in actually like seeing someone move this thing, or do we want to just say it has happened?
I was going to
Yeah.
hand wave it and say it happened.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there as well.
I think Enki's overexerting himself, and I'm wondering if we should show that on panel or not.
I think you should probably mark a doom for this whole thing. Yeah.
That's why I was thinking, and that's why I ended it on overexertion, because
Yeah.
that's one of the two. So
Uh,
maybe the scene ends with Lighthammer and Ryder climbing into the apartment and Enki letting go, and the whole thing comes crashing down, and he faints into the apartment.
I'm good with that. We all good with that?
I'm
I'm
down
good
for
with that. Yep.
Excellent. Where do we want to open the next thing? Do we want to be back in Lighthammer's apartment a little bit later?
I kind of think we should relocate. I think we should go to Ryder's place.
Yeah, that sounds good. Go to my sanctuary.
Okay.
Your sanctuary? I was thinking go to like your apartment, like where you have with Leo and you.
That works too.
I think they're in the same building now. But yeah.
Yep, they are.
I think the first line of the scene cuts across from the like previous page, and it's me saying, "I really never need a villain to come and wreck my apartment ever again. Like once was enough. Twice is just excessive."
Yeah, what is it with your apartment? I think Ryder's nursing his ribs at this point. Yeah, what is it with your apartment and being attacked by nature-bound villains?
Technically, the first one was made of movies.
Uh,
I think Enki is lying on the couch, lying flat, and I think Gerard is there, and I think Gerard is like wetting his forehead with a wet towel, and Enki goes, "What was that thing? Because that was not natural."
yeah, you're right. Who was that? Like, do we have any intel on them? Or the group they're with? I mean, they seem pretty hell-bent on getting Inky.
When I absorbed their vitality, like that was foul.
This, Dark Rider, and Remix at the same time? Oh, what is this city coming to?
It's no different than when y'all were taking care of Dark Rider and Faye's demon cult. It's no different than when our legacies were fighting Mutagen and the Golden Scepter crisis. The city's always going to have stuff going on.
Yeah, but one crisis after another? These people need a break. And I think Ryder's going to sit down on the couch.
Yeah, well, real heroes don't get a break sometimes, kid. And I'm going to pat Ryder's shoulder.
Oh, yeah, good.
I
Perfect.
think I'm shifting his labels.
Kind of feels like it.
It does.
I think I'm shifting your superior up and your mundane down.
Yeah. All right. Poor mundane.
Are you accepting it?
I'm accepting it. Poor mundane.
All right, so plan of action. If anyone's going to know what's attacking Enki, it's going to be Poison Oak. So let's go find him and talk to him. That's step 1. Step 2, we have to make sure that Enki is safe no matter where he is. So we should figure out a good place to keep him where he can be protected. Step 3, we need to check on Allie and the progress with getting Brian back. I don't know how I'm supposed to do that because different dimensions, but regardless, maybe Isaac could help with that. Isaac's still in your room, right, Felix?
Yeah, I thought so.
Great. One sec.
I think in the back of the panel he says, "We've been staying at your place for a while, so I don't know."
And I think we get the panel of where do we find Isaac? Where do you two find Isaac?
I think Isaac has been like sitting on Ryder's bed. I think we probably brought Isaac from the hospital after like the zoo trip and like put him here and then left him. And he's just been like sitting there waiting for us.
Excellent. And I think like we see the panel, you two open the door and one of you steps forward to grab Isaac up off the bed. And then you see Allie's hand appear out of nowhere and like arm reach down out onto the bed, grab Isaac and just pull into nothing and disappear.
So your friend's back.
And overlapping with that, we get a panel of Lighthammer being like, okay, so Allie's all right.
Fantastic. And I want to cut to Inky. Inky, when you mentioned the energy that you felt from Namshub, from there, you started noticing that there's still a little bit of that energy residing within you. It's been fading very steadily, and it'll be gone soon. But if you want, you could look into that energy and try to pierce the mask on it. That's up to you. I will say that the information you get out of it is going to be a little symbolic and not as direct answery, but yeah.
Sure, that sounds like a good time. I think Enki is lying on the couch and is feeling this tingling in his stomach, and he doesn't quite know what it is. And I think he walks into the kitchen and tries to pierce the mask on this energy.
Excellent. That's good. Roll plus mundane.
That's a 4.
These rolls are amazing.
So I think what we see is like Inky walking into the kitchen, and like we see a panel through Inky's eyes, and then he closes his eyes, and we see just that purple rune just focus for a couple panels, and then it just dissipates. You lose the feeling of the energy completely. And I think in the panel behind you, we see just like the slightest hint of like a purple energy flowing in and through Gerard.
I think Enki shakes his head and seems to completely have forgotten about the energy and grabs a steak from the freezer and throws Gerard a steak.
And he happily and greedily eats. I think this is when Lighthammer and Ryder walk back in.
I come walking into the kitchen from the bedroom and I'm like, Hank, you want to go see your dad or whatever?
He's not my dad, he's more like my uncle or something.
And then I think with that, we see a remix portal open up in the ceiling of the room, and Allie and Asimov come tumbling out of it.
I look at Asimov, who is like beaten all to hell, and I'm like, what the hell happened to you?
Ryder chimes in. This is way too much for me right now.
This is too much for me.
Enki yells, Brian, and jumps in for like the biggest bear hug.
And I think we get Allie pulling herself out of the pile, throw in a peace sign, like, all right, Lighthammer, you owe me one, and walk it out.
Moon Harbor Heroes is produced by Anthony Sheets, T.P. Huth, and Elliot Peterson, and edited by Anthony Sheets and Sean Geddes. Anthony can be found on Twitter at IcyNewYear or at IcyNewYear.com. T is a theater artist and educator in the DC area. She can be found at T Huth Playwright on Twitter or TPHuth94 on Instagram. Elliot can be found at Elliot Yellen on Twitter. That's ELLIOTYLEN. Sean can be found at The Crumpit, THECRUMPIT on Twitter. Moon Harbor Heroes is played using Masks: A New Generation, written by Brendan Conway and produced by Magpie Games. Our logo was designed by Beautiful Beasties. She can be found on Instagram at beastly.doodles or on Patreon at patreon.com/beautifulbeasties. The music in this issue is Black Vortex by Kevin MacLeod. This issue is GM'd by Anthony Sheets. Ryder Typhon is played by Kaido Kane. Kaido is a Twitch personality and loves their 3 mischievous cats. You can find them at The Versian on Twitter or as Kaido Kane on twitch.tv. Asimov is played by EXPHP. You probably won't find him at It's EXPHP on Twitter, but it's worth a try. Enki is played by Simon Meskins. You can find him as at Gilbereka, GILBERREKE on Twitter. Lighthammer is played by T. Huth. If you want to get a hold of us, email us at moonharborheroes@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at moonharborcast. If you enjoyed this issue, please leave us a review on your podcatcher of choice or tell a friend. 5-star reviews and word of mouth are really the best way for us to keep bringing these stories to more people. If you'd like to support us financially, check us out at patreon.com/moonharborheroes. Supporting us there will give you access to bonus issues each month. And thank you for helping us save the world. We'll see you next issue.